Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Keith Thompson. And really quickly, I want to talk about something that's really irked me and frustrated me over the years. And that is when famous people, or just people in general, will do things that they perceive as being kind or generous, but they do it to please others. For example, this guy who's got a really big YouTube channel, he's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Just recently, he went down to LA, Los Angeles, and he started handing out Subway subs to the homeless. Now he would walk up to him, he would hand him the sub, and then he'd pat him on the back. He may sit with them for a little while and just tell them that they're loved and all this. But he had his camera guy right there with him. Okay, the camera was right in his face, and even the worst part of the video was he gave the sub to someone and he looked at the camera and smiled, as though he was saying to himself, "Yeah, I'm gonna make a lot of money off of this." He doesn't care. Okay, he doesn't. He has no care. It's all about making himself look good. It's all about uplifting himself and making himself look as though he's a good person. Now God hates this, and we see this in Matthew 6:2, where it says, "Therefore, when you do a charitable deed, do not sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory from men. Assuredly, I say to you, they have their reward. But when you do a charitable deed, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, that your charitable deed may be in secret, and your Father who is in secret will himself reward you openly." One thing I like about the Lord is that after he gives a command, after he gives advice that is holy advice, he always backs it up. If we turn the page to Matthew 8, we have the leper who runs up to the Lord Jesus Christ and he says, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. If you are willing, you can make me clean." And I want to stop and just address that really quickly. Everyone saw there was a plethora of people around Jesus when he did miracles. Okay. But what's interesting is not everyone came up to him. Not everyone responded to it the same way. A lot of people saw it and they walked off. Okay. A lot of people marveled and that was it. And some people saw him in a desperate manner. Okay. And they ran up to him. They were needy. What's the difference? Why did some see him and know that he could save them, while others saw him and shrugged their shoulders and walked off? It brings me back to John 6:44. No one comes to Christ unless the Father draws him. The Lord draws in his elect. And Jesus says to him, see that after he basically cleanses him of his leprosy, he tells the man, "See that you tell no one, but go your way. Show yourself to the priest and offer the gift of that Moses commanded as a testimony to them." He tells them to tell no one, tell nobody that this was done. The Lord Jesus Christ, who did these miraculous and mighty works, he tells them to tell no one. Why? Because he's not seeking the glory of man. He's seeking the glory of his Father. And in the same regard, when people do charitable deeds and they have a camera sitting right there taping it all, and the man did get millions of views and he did get lots of money off of that, they're not doing it for God. They're doing it for man. They're doing it for themselves, and that's sin. And God hates that. So God hated that this man was walking up and giving homeless sandwiches. God hates that, and he has no idea that God hates that. He thinks he's patted himself on the back. I'm a good man. It's nothing more than a plea or a way to garner self-righteousness. On his way home, he thought to himself, "I'm a good guy. I'm a good person." No one would have been able to come up to him and tell him otherwise. I just handed out 200 subs to homeless people. You can't tell me I'm not good. So it's just a way to garner self-righteousness. That's all. It's sin and God hates it. And that's all I want to touch on. Thank you guys for listening.